Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting race weekend here. It's Father's Day, and we're all excited to see all these guys out here on the racetrack at Summit Point Raceway in West Virginia. This is the Skippy Formula 2 race, which is seeing a fantastic turnout here of 16 drivers on the grid so far. And we're already racing 3 minutes into it, so let's get right to it. In the broadcast booth with me tonight is Peter Lee. Peter, how are you doing?
Happy Father's Day, Chris.
Happy
Doing
Father's
great.
Day. I will say I was not expecting us to be already deep into the race here. This is a little earlier than expected, but you know what? Here we go. We're right into it. This is the Jake Ashe off the pace there just a little bit. I know we're focused on him there, but Charles Weber, let's focus in here on the lead. Chuck Rubber leading now by 2.4 seconds, and pretty good race throughout the field. Carter Stickney's back with us here and giving Andy Au some trouble in the 28 machine there. A little further back, Rusty Ponberg trying to hold off Rob Chestnut. And about just shy of 2 seconds back from them, we've got Alan Paris holding back Michael Schmidt. Barry Stockdale in 8th place right now, holding back a entire 4-car pile up here of Nick Tullo, Dan Pagowski, Joe Zubovich. And I don't know, man, what did I miss? Holy cow. we came right onto it, and it looks like the field split up pretty early here.
Yeah, we certainly did. Charles Weber took the pole, and Carter Stickney qualified second, and newcomer to Skippy Formula 2, Christopher Daniel, gridded third. Ian Worrell, also qualified really well, qualified in position 6, but had an early accident, and so now he's having to play catch-up.
We had some more off tracks there. Unfortunate for newcomer Chris Daniel, still in the pits with Pim Luth, who joined you in the broadcast booth earlier for one of my NASCAR Cup races. And I just want to say, before we get into it, just thank you, man. Like that was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I know it's a weird way to spend your Father's Day, but at the same time, I know all the guys in Bonfire Racing League really appreciated it, and hopefully you guys found some joy in it, because we had a lot of fun with you guys, and we got rave reviews from the Cavalcade broadcast there earlier today at about 10 a.m. So first of all, if you didn't see it, go back, check it out. I think you'll be happy with the result, anybody who's watching right now, but outside of that, hopefully it gave you guys just a little different flavor of things, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Chris, it was just awesome. Thanks for treating us. It was a real privilege, and man, what an exciting race. And I guess we can't talk about that without telling the world that you won the race, and so you're taking a commanding season lead into the final race next week at Talladega, so congrats.
I appreciate that. I'm excited for it. I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch, as they say, but I was really excited for that result. I was very lucky. If anybody, whoever watches, you will see how extremely lucky I was that it worked out the way it did. But if you're looking for something a little different in terms of strategy, tire management, all that stuff, we had a little bit of all of that earlier this morning, and it was a lot of fun to do. Hopefully you guys will get as much joy out of watching it as we did racing it. What I'm looking at now here is a very tight battle for P3. Rob Chestnut and Rusty Pottenberg. Look at that slick number 12 machine, man. That's a chrome. That thing is waxed down, ready to cut through the air there. I don't know if the gobstopper machine is going to have anything for the number 12.
That is really awesome. Rob Chestnut is one of the newcomers to the league, and Rusty Pottenberg is coming off of probably the most improved driver in Skippy Formula 2 last season.
Yep.
It's just really up there, and so this will be fun to watch. And then right behind them is another newcomer, Alan Paris. And so it's and yet another newcomer, Michael Schmidt, behind in P7. So that train of 4 cars, that's a pretty interesting group right there. They'll be learning about each other. One of the things about this Sunday Night Skippy is, we race with each other every week. We really get to know each other. But with the new guys coming in, that learning process just starts from scratch. And so it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Well, Pim Luth and Ian Worrell here, I'll tell you what, this is what I love about this league. Look at that, wheel-to-wheel racing for the 13th position. I mean, these guys obviously probably not the start to the race that they wanted, but they were still able to find a worthy competitor despite all that, and having some fantastic racing through this course. Now, let's back up just a little bit, because we kind of got off to a roaring start here. We joined the race 3 minutes into a 35-minute race. Talk to me about Summit Point, because we know it's in West Virginia. We know it's a free track that usually gets raced in the rookie series, but I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know how this track is being received by the Skippy drivers this week. I get the sense that there isn't a ton of fans, but people have been posting highlights and replays, and there seems to be some great racing that's coming out of this track in this configuration.
Oh, I think it's almost an ideal track for the Skip Barber Formula 2000 car. It's 2 miles, 10 turns that are pretty technical, and range everything from a tight hairpin to a full throttle fourth gear sweeper. But it also has out of that 2 miles, more than a quarter of that, more than half a mile, is the front straight. And so, the draft strength of the Skippy gets tested along with all of these incredibly tight technical sections. And so I think the knock on it is it's not a famous track in that it doesn't bring IndyCar, doesn't bring NASCAR. It's more of a club track. I think in the past there have been IMSA races hosted here. If you go to the website for Summit Point, they'll brag about the fact that Paul Newman, when he was racing, used to like this track. So it's not, it doesn't have that elite environment. I think you might be dating yourself there.
Paul Newman, by the way.
Yeah, so Paul Newman, for those of you that are too young to know, was a pretty hot commodity in Hollywood for many years.
To say the least, man. Star of some of my favorite films, and I hate to break up the Paul Newman conversation here, but obviously very avid race fan. But we see some people diving into pit road. Alan Paris and Chris Daniel both. This is a 2-stop race, if I'm not mistaken, because all SF2 races.
Yep, and the fueling window is probably just opening now, and so it's very interesting that they're coming in early. And with newcomers, we don't know what their tendencies are, and so whether this was strategic or if they're just playing it safe, we'll see. But in a way, they could be doing some kind of intentional undercut here.
Well, I tried to get a gearbox view of this battle here between Nick Tullo and Dan Pegowski, but they were side by side, so it yielded no results. But we'll back up just a little bit here and let you guys see what I was looking at. Great battle. Nick Tullo making his way past Dan Pegowski for P8 through these technical turns here. And Dan, I mean, he's not giving that up. Easy. You got to know. Dan's been around for many seasons. He is a battle-tested driver. Nick Tullo's getting there. Don't get me wrong. But Dan Pegowski's not going to give that spot up easy.
And it looks like newcomer Michael Schmidt is just entered the pit lane, so he's also in for fuel. And again, it looks like the newcomers are opting for early refueling.
Interesting. So maybe they know something that the rest of the guys don't.
On the Discord, League Discord, all the newcomers to Skippy Formula 2, they were asking a lot of questions about fuel strategy. So we know they were thinking about it.
Well, we know Matt Shepka made a nice little primer, I guess a guide on pit stops. Here's the thing. I did not realize that pit stops were all that uncommon. And now, that being said, there is some very specifics about Skippy pit stops that I think need to be known and are very unique to this, not only this league, but the car itself. And it's certainly not a factor in the public races when it comes to, the Skippy series in the D class. But, and there we go. Rusty Ponberg and Rob Chestnut. Ooh, smoking it in. Look at that. These guys really trying to maximize their time in there. Ooh.
It is a pretty fast pit entry, and you do have to get your speed down quickly. Barry Stockdale's in, Rob Chestnut, Jake Ashe. It's pretty crowded in there.
So of the guys that are remaining out, Nick Tullo and Dan Pagowski, we were watching this battle earlier where Nick passed Dan. Dan is hanging tough. These guys are leading the race now, not having pit yet. They are the last ones to pit, and that's going to play a factor for sure. I guess we'll see if Dan's going to push the issue, and
we've seen this before, especially with Dan Pagowski. He does tend to try to stretch out his pit stops, and
he is the anti-Jake Ashe.
Yes. Very, very interesting. Well, I'll bet, to your earlier point, it's true in the Skippy, in the races, in the public races, there is no refueling. And so a lot of these guys who are coming into the league new have never done it. They've never had to think about it. Oh, it looks like both Nick and Daniel have just dived into the... And so, for sure, it's going to make you nervous because it's something new you have to learn about, and you don't want to screw it up. And to your other point about things that are particular to the Skippy, one of the most important things is it's generally a bad idea to take new tires. And the reason for that is these tires, being treaded road tires, don't really wear down in the same way that racing slicks do. And in fact, they also take a long time to get up to good operating temperature. And so if you do take tires, you not only lose time in the pits, but you lose all of the tire temperature that you just worked so hard to get.
Which is a stark contrast from what you saw earlier today in the Cup Series race, where as soon as you can get new tires, oh boy, get those puppies on, because your time's fallen way off. But yeah, we can see Chuck Weber here taking a commanding, I would call it a commanding lead for this level of competition over Andy Au. And the let's see, Rusty and Rob are now in 4th and 5th. We've got a great battle here between Nick Tullo, Michael Schmidt. Michael Schmidt has placed himself between Nick Tullo and Dan Pagowski. So we've been watching the Tullo-Pagowski battle, but
I think for Michael Schmidt, when Nick and Daniel came out of the pits together, still getting up to speed, Michael Schmidt must have just managed to squeeze in between. Back up in P2, Andy Au is another one of the newcomers, and it's impressive to see Andy as a newcomer, up there in P2 and trying to chase down our race leader, Charles Weber.
Yeah, we're really happy to have Andy out. Welcome to the league, by the way. I don't think we've done that officially, Andy, but great to have you here. Obviously doing very well. They have opened up. So Al has got I would say contact at least with Chuck Weber. They've got a heck of a gap back there to Carter Stickney, though. Let's look at that. You can see that right there. They're a turn or two ahead. Carter Stickney, though, has he took a bit of a leave of absence from the league. He's a SNS veteran, if you will, but sometimes real life gets in the way. And not that this is the ultimate goal, but maybe getting in the way is the wrong way to put it. But Carter Stickney,
Well,
yeah,
yeah. I got a big dose of Carter Stickney. Sunday Night Skippy has started a new Thursday night or Saturday morning series in
in the Formula V. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I had the great privilege of racing in that, and Carter was just in my gearbox, looming so large, in both the first heat and in the feature. And we were passing each other a few times. It was great to see him back, but I wish he wasn't hassling me so much on the track.
Very fast driver naturally. So with consistency with practice, Carter Stickney is a force to be reckoned with for sure. And even after a bunch of time away, he can just get back in and be extremely good. So I'm very jealous of that type of person. Looking back here, this is Alan Paris trying to hold off Rob Chestnut and Joe Zubovich. A little further back, Nick Tullo still. I can't believe that he's held off Michael Schmidt and Dan Pagowski for this long, because these guys are no slouches. He's just taking a great defensive line, or just barely holding the pace that he needs, because these guys have been on him
Yeah,
like white
they
on
have
rice
been.
here. I don't know. They've been
They have
on
been
his
doing,
gearbox.
yeah, they have been doing a little bit of leapfrog, because as they come around turn 10 here, and this is this more than half-mile long straight, and it is just super powerful draft straight here. And so what you'll see oftentimes is a kind of leapfrogging, where as long as people are able to stay close to each other in the back technical section, you get a change of positions right on that straight. Looks like Charles Weber up front has gone past Pim Luth, probably under a blue flag, and so that puts a little bit of a gap between him and Andy Au in P2.
Important to remember that there are 2 pit stops that need to occur in this race. So, yeah, you see the gaps there, and you think, okay, well, 2.3 seconds. Well, I'll tell you what, anything can happen. Speeding penalties, even just maximizing your time through pit road. That's tough, and that's not something that you're practicing when you do skippy races in the public, races. So the guys who are more experienced in that have a bit of an advantage.
Well, I'm telling you, this 3-car group of Michael Schmidt, Nick Tullo, and Daniel Pagowski.
Whoa, big move. Sorry. Holy cow. We got Dan Pagowski really... No. I'm sorry. That's Nick Tullo moving way to the outside there. You're right. They're playing some leapfrog. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but holy...
It's fun to watch. And, I'm starting to wonder, maybe they're working together. Because if you think about the physics of that, if these cars do leapfrog each other, they're pulling each other in the draft. And, that half-mile draft is worth, a quarter of a second, maybe 4/10 of a second if you do it right. And, if they do work together for a while, it would be their way to make up ground to the Alan Paris, Rob Chestnut battle for P5.
Got to check in here with Ian Royal real quick, because we got Max checking in on the that's Twitch. Yep, sorry, Max checking on Twitch. So go Barefoot Racing there, the 246 machine, making his way down the front stretch into turn 1. and Gertie 2.
And Ian had an amazing qualifying run. I think he ended up qualifying in P6, and I'm sure that people watching his Twitch stream were pretty jazzed up seeing him do that. It was a pretty darn fast time.
We'll look back on here in lap 1 for Ian Worrell. Really exciting to see him, but he just kind of lost it going in there 1 and ended up next to the 10 machine of Chris Daniel, and that's why both of them ended up just a little further back. But yeah, go Barefoot Racing, go Max, go Ian. Happy to see you guys out and about. Alan Paris here, really trying to get up to Rob Chestnut, and then a little further back. If I can do this right. Yep, there we go. Michael Schmidt.
Yeah, every time we look at this Michael Schmidt, Nicola Daniel Pagowski group, every time we leave them and then come back with the camera, they're in a different order. And
Vegas gambling line here for who's gonna be in front. Wait, oh, Pagowski's in the pits. Okay, I was like, where did Dan go? So Dan decided that he's gonna pit. He's gonna do his second pit stop early. He's trying to undercut here. He said, you know what, this isn't working out for me. These guys are not working to his benefit.
Right.
And you know what? To be honest with you, the 181 and the 1 car, they're going side by side through these turns.
Yep.
I mean,
It'll be really interesting to see if that works out.
I don't disagree with Pagowski's assessment on that one. Like, undercut, these guys are going to be battling. Yeah, okay. That's fine.
Well, then, a little further back, the battle for P9 is a group of 3, Barry Stockdale, Jake Ashe, Joe Zubo, and looks like Jake managed to use that front straight to draft past Barry Stockdale, and but then Barry, I think, somehow, gosh, it's even just hard to follow. People are just passing each other back and forth. Pretty much every lap.
And that's what. Oh, Joe Zubovic.
Oh
man, we got the broadcaster curse again. I'm sorry,
Whose
Joe.
fault is that? Yours or mine?
I was just about to say, man, we need Joe to. Man, I just want a good result for him, man. That's.
He was running really well there. Still 9 minutes left in the race, so I think he has he can make some ground here. There's still a round of pit stops for most of these.
It's not the end of the
drivers.
world, but oh my goodness.
I'll take the blame.
Oh boy. All right, so what are you taking away from this race, Peter? Like, what you're going in? You're going to race the SF1 race.
Yes.
So, what's your? How much practice have you got in? Are you taking anything away from the race that you're watching right now? Like, talk to us about what you're thinking.
Well, the one thing is that what we're seeing is lap times that are actually faster than what these guys were running in the practice and qualifying sessions, and I think that's just totally a matter of the draft. And then the other thing is traffic. For the Skippy Formula One race that's coming up next, there's going to be twice as many cars on track, maybe 2.5 times as many.
Yep.
So, God, I'm just thinking, wow, it's going to be busy. I'm thinking, rush hour traffic. Looks like Rob Chestnut and Michael Schmidt. Rob Chestnut's just out of the pits. Michael Schmidt's in the pits. So we'll start to see over the next 3 or 4 minutes, next couple laps, most of the field coming in for their second pit stops.
It's just crazy to me. I feel like people were sleeping on this circuit.
Oh, yeah. It's really great. Now, the race leader, Charles Weber, did make a second pit stop. Andy Au stayed out. And so, again, it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
All right, so he's in now. Weber is 21 seconds behind him. Let's take a look at how this works out. There is,
Right.
you can see all three of them, Andy Au, Carter Stickney, and Rusty Pottenberg, all coming into pit.
And this will be a very, very quick stop. You just really just need a splash of fuel. And
ooh, boy, look at that.
right.
Nick Tullo, Charles Weber.
Yep.
So
And,
so you can see the 246 RV in Whirl. He is wrecked, so he was a lap down there. He's not in the lead race, but the Chuck Weber has 2 pit stops.
yes. So he's in good shape. Nick Tillo still needs a second pit stop, and so I think it's Chuck's race to lose at this point.
Yeah, hard to argue that.
You do see the traffic that he's starting to deal with there, and although it helps him with Nick and Ian serving as a kind of buffer between him and Andy Au.
Yeah, so Nick Tullo in P2 is the he still needs to make one more pit stop, but Andy Au 2.6. There you go. There goes Nick Tullo. So Andy Au now is the only competitor for that race win. He is 2.3 seconds behind.
And then Carter Stickney in P3 about 7 seconds back from the lead.
And granted, there are 5 minutes left in this race. That doesn't sound like a lot, but a lot can happen in 5 minutes in this environment. As we all know, this is not over yet.
So it looks like Daniel Pogowski has found himself in a new group battling for P6 with Alan Paris and Michael Schmidt. And really, Alan Paris, newcomer to the league, showing up pretty well, holding down P6 and trying to stay ahead of Daniel Pogowski. Boy, Chris, again, thinking about the next race, the Skippy Formula One race, I think you're going to have your hands full.
I don't even know how I'm going to do it, to be honest with you. I think Joshua Dancy's, or no, I'm sorry, not Joshua Dancy. Jonathan Decker will be joining me.
Right.
So that's good news. But trying to do that solo is a fool's errand. And the amount of strategies that are going to be at play, the amount of cars out on the track, yeah, crazy.
Looks like down the front straight, Daniel Pogowski is drafting and is making his way around Alan Paris. Good, clean pass.
And Chuck Weber just really pulling away. I think the last time we checked in with him, he was 2.3 seconds. Now he's 3.1. So that's that's pretty good. We've got 3 minutes, or I'm sorry. Yep, no, 3 minutes remaining in the race.
Oh, it looks like Michael Schmidt has had an off-track issue. He seems to be stuck in the grass there. Oh, and has towed. And looks like Joe Zubovich might have been involved possibly in a similar incident. Yeah. And so it's possible that just looking at that could have been a little bit of netcode. And Pim Luth also we see has been towed into the pits, and so it looks like he's unfortunately had an incident also. I think in the carousel.
I don't know what Pim was doing there. Oh, Pim. That's a rough night for him. I think he was really looking forward to it. He's down 4 spots total right now. Of course, I always root for Pim. I've got a soft spot for him. But, yeah, that's a tough break.
Yep. Yeah.
For the 33 machine.
And he's been just blazing fast all week on this track. And,
well, we've got the white flag out here. This is Charles Weber taking the white flag. Barney going crazy for the last lap. Like, the only real battle here is Dan Pegowski and Alan Paris. So you see Dan Pegowski there in the 27 car. 71 of Alan Paris is for position. Oh, wow.
No.
Wow. Oh.
Now this is
really?
What's dangerous. Yep. Oh, and Daniel has to tow. That is so unfortunate.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you go. There's really no more battle
no
position.
And, that's really what I fear. Yeah, you're going down this half-mile plus straight. You just absolutely pedal to the metal, and and then the hardest braking zone in the whole track. You have to get past. It's the last lap of the race, and stuff happens.
Well, there you go. Your winner there. Congratulations, Chuck Weber, Andy Au in second place, Carter Stickney in third. That's your podium for tonight. Rusty Pottenberg coming home in fourth. Rob Chestnut in fifth. Alan Paris here's Jake Ashe coming home in seventh, right where he started. Barry Stockdale in eighth. Nick Tullo will bring it home in ninth, up 5 positions. A pretty good race for him there. He's our I take that back. Rob Chestnut.
And Alan Paris up 4 positions, but Rob Chestnut up 7. That's really great.
I agree with that. So yeah, wow, crazy finish there for the Skippy Formula 2 race. I
have to say that was a pretty frantic race.
That was a frantic is the right word. That is.
Yep.
I was looking for the right word. I might use that again in Skippy Formula 1 because I don't know what the word I will be looking for is, but yeah, frantic is fine. That congratulations to Chuck, Andy, and Carter for their podium finishes. Hopefully they'll join us after the Skippy Formula 1 race for the interview. But all right, what did you learn? What are you taking with you going into the next race?
I'm going to go find a quiet corner in my house here, try to find some zen, and then get in my rig and try to stay calm. I mean, that was what a great way to start the season, new season 7 for Skippy, Sunday Night Skippy, and I think it's going to be pretty wild in the Skippy Formula 1 race. I can't imagine what it's going to be like with 35, maybe 40 cars on track.
Fair enough, my friend. Well, good luck to you. We wish you. We will be rooting for you. I don't ever play favorites, but I'll tell you what. Somebody who comes and joins me in the broadcast booth, I'm gonna root for you. I'm sorry. I'm not. It is what it is.
Just no broadcaster's curse, and
No,
then
no,
we'll be
well, no, no,
square.
no. I won't. I won't cover you at all. Uh,
Awesome.
all right, my friend. Well, yeah. Uh, take care. We will see everybody on the back end. Actually, I should probably show the results here. Once again, congratulations to our winner, Chuck Weber. We got Andy Au and Carter Stickney on the podium. Rusty Punberg, Rob Chestnut, Alan Paris, Jake Ashe, Barry Stockdale, Nick Tullo. Whoa! Chuck Weber into the tree. Nick, where was I? Nick Tullo in 9th. Dan Pagaski in 10th. Ian Worrell in 11th. Joe Zubovich, Michael Schmidt, Chris Daniel, Pim Luth, and Phil Eric Kellyan down 24 laps. I don't know. Did he start? Well, I don't know. We didn't see much of Phil, but we do love Phil as always.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
We love to see you, even if he's just participating in practice, man. Phil, we love you. See you around more. Yeah, man. All right, good luck. We will see you in about 15-20 minutes. I'm gonna put the race up here shortly, and take care.
Fantastic. It was fun doing this with you, Chris.
Always, man. It's a pleasure. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Skippy Formula One race here at Summit Point in West Virginia. I'm joined tonight. That was weird. I saw a car go by with four wheels and no chassis, but that's okay.
I'm seeing that too. I'm seeing that too.
All right, I'm not going crazy. I'm joined tonight by. I'm sorry, that just really threw me. Jeffrey Decker, reigning champion and avid camper, apparently. Jeffrey Decker is joining us tonight in the broadcast booth. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, I did a good job of not getting sunburned all weekend, but on the ride home, my left arm got sunburned from being out the window. So big fail there.
Were you signaling people, or what's the?
Nah, it's just that valley sun, man. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
fair enough.
should have sunscreened on the ride home. My wife has her right arm, so together we have matching arms, just on opposite sides of our body.
Fair enough. Well, hey, man, we're here at Summit Point Raceway. You're missing out on a great racetrack. I'm just gonna make you feel a little bad here for a second, but we saw a fantastic race earlier in the Skippy Formula 2 series. We have 47 drivers, I think. 48. No, I may have been right the first time. I think we may have 48 drivers joining this race here tonight on this 1.99 mile, just shy of 2 mile track. Not a lot of room for everybody. So talk to me about what you think is going to be the key to victory tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy one. I think the key for people who are not in a position that they wanted to be is to try to get a little bit closer to that position early. So some people that are really pointing out to me, like I know Pete actually set the second fastest qualifying lap on his first lap and just didn't quite get a lap together after that. So I think he'll really be wanting to move forward through the grid. Dockery had some really good laps. He kind of got pumped down the order, but a couple of these guys, they're going to want to work their way up. Basically, the way that people will lose out today is by getting caught behind an incident in front of them. If you can stay within the draft, you can stay in the race. But as soon as an incident happens in front of you, that's kind of where your race can fall apart. So moving up and being in a comfortable position early, I think, is going to be key for a lot of people.
Edwin Virino on the pole here tonight. Welcome back, Edwin. Viva, Edwin. Paul Bachler is going to start on the outside pole. I think that's his first outside pole for the series. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, and he kind of snuck in there. His laps, he was kind of hanging out lower down and then kind of squeaked that one in there at the end. Same thing with Mike.
I just want everybody to recognize the country flags here that we have represented tonight. Just saying. It's really cool. All right, so I'm going to scroll through the starting grid here. Mike Howenack. We're going to have a lot of new drivers joining us for this series. I think that with the USF2K series kind of kicking off and gaining some momentum, in addition to just the general feeling of how well our SF1 series is going, we've got a heck of a grid coming into tonight. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm seeing some exciting names up toward the front. So Pete Broughton has took the last season off and was in the broadcast booth with me, if anybody remembers, and he is starting 5th tonight. So holy cow, like, good luck, guys. I don't know, like he takes an entire season off. He's moving, he's got other things on the mind, and he's gonna start 5th. Okay, good luck.
I also heard him in the warm-up practice. Someone asked him if he had all his stuff ready to go and if the rig was put back together, and he said, "Not the way I like." So I think he's not even racing comfortably, and he's still up there. So yeah.
I mean, come on, man. All right, so Mike Bowers was up there. He's in P3. Peter Nodwell in 8th. We've got Jonathan Dockery up in 10th, Spencer Clark, Michael McLeod. I mean, just this whole... Linda McMurphy's coming back, by the way. He's in P13 to start the night. He's another guy who we haven't seen in quite a while. Jack Moffitt in P14. I mean, he's a Minnesota Wild fan, but we can forgive him for that. I guess, for a little bit. But yeah, man, this is gonna be crazy. Let's see if we can't. Oh boy, we're starting already.
Yeah, it was a quick driver's briefing. I will say, I'm really surprised by both Dancy and Dronky being down in 15th and 16th, or 16th and 17th, actually, respectively. They were both really, really fast in the practice, so I think they probably just didn't get the laps together that they wanted. But I'd expect those guys to be charging hard early and trying to work their way through the pack.
Well, they got good company with each other there. So, yeah, go Allison Dancy checking in. Go Dancy. Agreed. I think he and Carl are going to try to work their way up through the field. I'm really excited to see what they have on offer for us tonight. But with all that being said, we've got, I mean, let's see. I want to get the final count. Yeah, 48.
Yeah, 48 total drivers.
Drivers. I mean, come on, man. Look at that. Look at that. Let's watch this. Arnie waves the green flag, giving everybody... Oh. There we go. I was trying to keep it all on the same spot. They're trying to go 3 wide there. I mean, holy cow. Look at that coming into turn 1.
That's a lot of skippies, my dude.
My poor freaking computer. Look at that. Who is that? Who is that off? That's Dustin Chernick. Going way off track.
And so here's what I like to see. Mike Bowers is kind of making a challenge into turn 3. Now he kind of slots back into place, but everyone nice and orderly up at the front, at least heading kind of down the hill. And down the hill is where things get really, really sketchy. It's a hard braking zone. All the skippies don't have a lot of grip early on, and the car wants to wiggle around even late in the race. So hopefully we make it all through nice and clean here. Yeah, I saw some 2-3 wide through there. Good racing, though, overall throughout the field so far to keep everything nice and clean.
My CPU is melting as we try to render all of these cars on the track. You are all welcome. Holy cow. This is ridiculous. So I got a comment there on, was that Twitch? Yeah, that's Twitch. From Scott Bell saying, hey, what the heck, Decker not racing? Says the guy who's not racing.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually gonna say that Scott had a good chance this week because I caught him earlier in the week and he had a lot of good pace. So I'm a little sad not to see him out there.
Come on, man.
Yeah, no, I figured I would probably be a liability on track with my lack of practice this week, so I'd rather be a liability in the booth.
Well, look at everybody kind of settling out here. I will say, nobody's really popped up. Oh, okay. Yeah, nobody's really popped up on
Carl sideways through the dirt there. Got it together just in time, but that's going to hurt his chances of working his way back through now.
Oh, who's that? Is that Ian? Oh, my goodness. Taking a lot of the grass there. Holy cow.
So let's see some big movers and shakers. Looks like Sean Trediak is up 6 spots already, which is really nice. Adam Wright up 4 spots. Dancy down 11 spots. Something must have happened there early, I guess, to send him there. But a lot of positive numbers, and then, yeah, a couple big negatives. So for the most part, the grid has actually stayed kind of in the same position. Most of them are +1 or -1. And I don't see any really big gaps forming so far.
They've kept it remarkably clean for this first part of the race. I will say they, I mean, we've seen some off tracks and whatnot, but to your point, for the most part, everybody keeping it super clean. Oh my gosh, who is that?
Yeah, so let's see. There could be a gap forming maybe like 8 cars back right now, but it's still, if you stay within a second here, it's really, really hard to drop a car, even a car that's like close to a second slower than you, because you get draft down the main straight, draft down the hill, and then draft again heading into the final corner. Ooh.
Sorry.
All good.
I can't.
There are too many cars this race.
It's much
it is
going
crazy
on here, and we've got new drivers. Mark Olivier Lawyer. I apologize, Mark. welcome to the league, though.
Oh, and someone is off.
Lyndall McMurphy's off the track. Look at that. Oh boy, man, he's gonna have to wait for that. No. Yep.
So it looks like there's a little bit of a gap behind Adam Wright, who's sitting in 14th.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry. Edwin may have had a little bit of a disconnect issue. I saw him rolling down through the timing tires, so I thought maybe he had crashed.
Yeah, I will say, Edwin, hopefully, I know he gave me the win last season in Sonoma, so I'm hoping for no disconnects from Edwin. He looked very, very quick in practice, as always, and he's leading the pack nice and clean here so far. So, yeah, hopefully PC stays connected and everything's looking good for him.
I'm going to change the interval here because I just want everybody to see how close everybody is. I mean, yeah, granted, you want the gap to the leader, but this is the interval, so this is basically everybody's gap between the person in front of them and behind them. And I mean, just holy cow, look at that. Everybody within tenths or hundredths or thousandths of a second from each other in a car that's not particularly fast. So just wow. I mean, these guys really going after it.
Yeah, so I'd say the big gap is really behind Adam, it looks like right now. There's about a 3-second gap to call, who could easily close that up, especially if the front back starts to slow down a little bit or if there's a little bit of fighting going on. Outside of that, though, everyone really looks in play.
Oh, we got a pass for the lead here. Paul Bachler going to the outside. Can he make it stick?
So the fun thing here is, so being on the outside there is really tough, but if you want to stay on the outside there, it will slow the pack up, but you can actually run side by side basically from there all the way down into the final corner. I think it was a smart move to tuck back in behind, having that inside line, trying to stay kind of on good pace, see if you can form a gap behind is probably the way to go, but always worth having a look there. And I do think, Paul is gonna have a couple more of those, trying to get one in over on Edwin. I think there's going to be some overtaking attempts coming here soon, especially to try to work their way up to the front, because you got to start getting, I guess, are we not doing points for the laps led before? How is that working this season?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Oh, I think we're simplifying everything, so I imagine that we're moving over to the iRacing side of things.
Oh, and someone's sideways in the final corner there. I think we've got a gap now a little bit further back because of that. Yeah, it looks like maybe the top 8 or so have a nice little cushion now. So yeah, we got some dicing, some too wide into turn 1 again. Paul trying the outside line this time.
Whoa!
Can't quite make it stick, but now Pete's getting in there. I think we're gonna see. All right, they file back into place, but Pete now working his way up to P3. Ooh.
Pete. Oh, I'm just gonna, hang back and.
Yeah, my rig, I don't feel comfortable in it yet.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think he's gotten comfortable pretty quick. That might have taken him 2 laps or something like that. But yeah, this top 8 is looking really nice, and then we've got a nice pack kind of behind these guys, led by Lauren Avery. And then he's actually got a little bit of a gap to Michael McLeod, but I expect those guys to catch up and that to be kind of a nice second pack. And they'll still be fighting for the top 10, so really a lot to play for. But we are seeing some pockets open up.
I just want to bring everybody's attention to the amount of orange and yellow we have on the interval time tower. Like, this is where we're at, folks. Look at this. All right, you want to say Jonathan Dockery, look into the inside? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that makes your job incredibly hard, right? You're supposed to look for like the one orange and then be like, all right, that's where the battle is. But the battle is everywhere right now. So Edwin's actually lost the lead now. It looks like Paul Bachler's got it, and Pete has also snuck by him. So yeah, we've got that moving, we've got that shaking that I was kind of expecting, and of course, here's kind of the sight that you expect to see, especially based on what we saw last season. Eric Lemereau just kind of sitting back there in P5, waiting for his moment to strike. I know someone described him as glue last season. He's always going to stick to the back here. You just got to watch out for when he's ready to strike. And it seems like that's kind of the game he's playing here. So I'm really expecting Eric to make a play at some point kind of towards the end of the race. I know he likes to hang on to that lead pack for as long as possible.
Yeah, we need more Eric Lamoureux in our life here, man. Come on, let's go.
I mean, he had a great win to
LA.
finish last season. So I think this could be this top 5. All these guys are easily in play for the championship this season.
Yeah, so Scott Bell, who is not in the race right now, says Bowers is due. Goes to oh my god!
I thought we were about to go 3 wide. I thought we had a 3 wide there. But
Edwin thinks better of it, but we're gonna see Pete Mobron take the lead. Paul Bachler in second. Edwin Virino is gonna shuffle into third. Holy cow!
So I will say, Edwin could have gone for it there and probably could have made it stick. But that's him already thinking season long. I want to make sure that I get the best points possible, and I don't want to throw in too much risk too early. So a really smart play by him to kind of think, well, you know, this one race doesn't build into a championship, and if I crash now, I don't have a chance. But really trying to play the long game there. So that's kind of where you see someone maybe back out, is that they've really got to think about what their goal is for the season. And with Edwin, it's always A, to win the race, but also B, to win the championship.
Good on you, man. Boy, man, when you've got that car in front of you, how do you think long term? You know what I mean? Like, how do you take the long game?
Sometimes you can't. The big thing for me is if I know a passing opportunity is going to come up, I need to have a plan in my head well ahead of time. So coming onto this main straight, if I think I'm going to have an opportunity going into turn 1, I want to know exactly what I think that opportunity is going to look like. And if it doesn't quite look that way and I'm not prepared, then I don't want to take it.
Okay, sorry. We got Bachler going in.
2 wide again. All right, this is a nice. I think we're doing some pleasantries here. These are we're like kind of bowing back and forth. We're doing the little dance.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we've got a 2-stopper, and we're about 15 minutes in. So basically, I think the pit window is open. And based on the speed that I saw Edwin have early on, I wouldn't be surprised to see him come in early and try to pull out a little bit of gap on these guys to see if his draft was what was keeping everyone close to him. He seemed to have just a little bit extra in qualifying, so it wouldn't surprise me if his game plan was to try to pull a gap early on with a short stop.
Well, gosh darn it, I hate to try to go throughout the field, but that's kind of the spirit and the intent of everything. Let's look back here at Steve Dewar trying to hold off Sean Trediak. Boy, howdy, look at that for 17th position here. These guys really going to town.
Yeah, we've got pretty much no one alone throughout the pack. I think the only person that's like alone right now is Lauren Avery, but everyone at least has a buddy that they're racing with right now, which is amazing to see.
Check out at the bottom of your screen there. You see Edwin Virino. He's in pit road.
I called it. All right, so I think that's what Edwin's going to be going for. He's going to be trying to put in some really hot laps here, pull out a gap by doing a little bit shorter stop than everyone, and hoping that the gap that he builds up in his second stint is big enough that he'll have dropped people in the draft for that final stint. So we'll see how that plays out. It's very, very hard to do here, and Paul and Pete were doing a great job of kind of draft swapping, so it may be hard to drop them, but I think this is a good plan. It's a good play by Edwin. At the very least, I kind of expect him to pick up a position here and end up in second, maybe first, but I think it'll be hard to drop that pack.
Chris Stewart doing battle with Charlie McCarty here.
I'm trying to figure out what the face is on the front of Charlie McCarty's car. He's got a funny little face. I wonder if that's his face on it or not. I don't know if you've seen that or noticed that yet.
I'm gonna check it out. We can do that. We have the technology.
Oh no, okay, got it. It's from a movie. I see now. But actually, he's got Carl Dronke on his tail, and that's a pressured position for him
that's the
right
face
now.
I would have if I had Carl Dronke on my tail.
Exactly. It's appropriate for this situation, for sure.
And look at Carl Draghi's. Oh no! What did I do? I switched off him. Okay, so we have.
Yeah, so we've got more pit lane takers. It looks like Lamoureux came in,
Yep.
and he has cycled back now. Oh, I've lost Edwin here. I wonder what's happened there.
Yeah, his connection seems to be going in and out, so that could be part of it. So I just want to. I know we got Team Dancy in the house tonight, so I want to make sure that we. I don't know what happened to him, man. He is down a bunch. Let's take a look back here. He went off track. Oh yeah. Okay, so there was Carl. Yeah. Okay. There was a big incident earlier that some of those guys were involved in. Just a little bit of nose to tail stuff, so unfortunate, obviously, for everyone involved. But now, I mean, holy cow, the hit strategy is going crazy here. So, Mike Bowers leading Paul Bachler, Gurkan Demir. I think those are the guys left out. Everybody else. Actually, you know what? We have the technology. Why not? There we go. Pit stops. There we go. You can see who is stopped, who is not. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. We seem to have lost Jeffrey Decker. Alright. Figure out what happened. Can you hear us? Let's turn it. All right, so Jeffrey Decker is leading, or I'm sorry, Jonathan. We're trying to get Jeffrey Decker back into the booth, but Jonathan Dockery, JD, we're trying to get him back into the booth. Jonathan Dockery is currently leading, not having pit just yet. Can you hear me? Yeah, but you can't. Appreciate it, Scott. You can't hear. Can't hear Jeffrey, can you? So, Jeffrey can hear me, but I can't hear him. This is not going well. Pete Brown in the lead. He's in the interview standby booth. I wonder if he's willing to come in and do an interview right now. I'm not gonna do that. All right. We'll try to figure out what's going on with Mr. Decker, but in the meantime, Pimo Rodden's leading Edwin Fairino and Eric Lemro here for first. They are... Oh, Eric's looking to the inside there. Can we get it? No, we can't. Not on this turn, at least. We're in turn one. We'll take away the pit stops. Oops. That's the thing I want to do. There we go. And see what's going on there. All right, so there's your gaps. This is 48 skippies. You're missing 10 people, 9 people, mainly because we can't fit on screen. And actually, let's go interval. We've got some good battling going on. Michael McLeod and Jack Moffitt. You got Steve Dewar trying to track down Ray Bartnikowski and Andrew Cole, Sean Churdick, and Aaron Law all following in line. Just a little further back there, Chris Stewart. Tim Luth is leading. Rusty Ponnberg, Benjamin Harris, Kyle McCormick, Neil Sharma, and Andy Au. Apparently, I don't know how to do this. All right, there you go. Holy cow. Steve Dewar trying to make a pass on Ray Bartnikowski. Sean Trediak just to the inside of him. Hold on. Try this again. Got us? Man, why can't we get Jeffrey Dewar back in here? You know, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna leave. Back. How about that? Well, this is frustrating. I'm sorry, man. All right, well, while we try to figure this out, let's just check in with LeBron, who's leading the race. There. I can't hear any. Okay, never mind. All right, so this is me. That's clearly the problem here. So let's forget Yeah, Discord here. The last thing we need to be doing is messing up the leader of the race, so hello? Alright. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're not gonna bother the guys anymore. I don't know what's going on with the technical difficulties or why we can't hear the Discord all of a sudden, but I'm not gonna bother Pete because he's racing Edwin Vagrino for the win with 20 minutes remaining in the race, and it is what it is. Like, I mean, except for Eric Lamero, he doesn't think it is what it is. He's gonna go look to the inside and make the move for the lead. Pete says he's going to win. That's some pretty good stuff. Let's can you hear me, Jeff? Darn it. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Check.
Yeah, we got you.
Woo! We're back. All right. Yeah,
Holy
people were confused about what was going on.
freaking cow. I can't even handle. Oh my god.
This is turning into a very very good scrap here up at the front, though. This group of 4 are all people I'd expect to challenge for wins week in and week out, so it's not surprising at all to see them up there. And this is where, like I was saying earlier, like Eric is like glue, right? He stuck to the back of that pack in the first stint, and then the second stint, he's seen his opportunity and he is going for it.
So, all right, we've got pretty much everybody. Jack Moffitt, Joshua Dancy are the first ones in for their second pit stops. We've got plenty of time left in the race, so there's that. Eric Lamero out in front. We're looking back on his gearbox. Pete really just trying to maintain contact. Edwin Vairino. Oh, dang, man. How do you get that close? How do you get that close? How do you get that amount of skill that you're able to not hit somebody?
Sometimes you're a little concerned that you might hit somebody.
All right, fair enough. Look at this. Oh,
There
we go.
So I was waiting to see who would branch off and try to do this earlier pit stop. So it's interesting to see. I'm actually surprised it wasn't Edwin because he did pit the first out of everyone, but I'd expect that Edwin probably has to come in this lap then. And I think that's why he made the move for the lead. He doesn't want anyone coming in front of him here. That's one thing I'll say is when you're battling with the pack, if you are the first person in that pack to go into the pits in the line, it gives you a little bit of an advantage because you're not reacting to what anyone else's breaking point is for pit entry. So if Edwin is planning on coming in this lap, a really, really smart move to step out in front and make sure that his pit entry is unobstructed.
Fair enough. So there you go. Edwin, Eric, and Mike up front for the battle for first. Peter Nodwell about 2.7 seconds back from them. He's having a pretty good battle there with Gurkin and Demir. And
yeah, Gurkin really good pace here in this race as well.
Yeah, right? I mean, these guys, check this out. This is Peter Nodwell. You got Gurkin right behind him. Fantastic position for the end of the race. Pretty much everybody still has one pit stop left to go, so.
So Edwin's into the pits. It looks like Mike has followed him, so Eric has kind of been left on an island. To lead.
Eric stayed out.
Yeah, so we'll see how this works out in terms of where he'll funnel out. And then it'll also be interesting to see where Edwin and Mike funnel out in relation to Pete and see if that group is still together or not.
A little further back here, Lauren Avery in third, or at the moment at least. Spencer Clark and Michael McLeod all having a pretty good battle here for P5 at the moment. But yeah, everybody
So
having different strategies, so it's tough to say. It's tough to say.
Edwin actually lost out there because he had to take the longer pit stop. So Mike jumped him and actually has a decent gap on him now. Mike is maybe within touching distance of Pete, but it looks like Pete maybe with the master stroke here on strategy.
To the surprise of nobody.
Yeah, this guy, come on.
Right.
We'll see though. He does have some slower traffic ahead. I think it probably would have helped him on that outlap to get a little bit of draft, but it may hinder him enough to get Mike back within touching distance. And then Eric, if he can crank in some good laps, should be right there with him.
Who's back here with Chris Stewart and Tortolo. Man, these guys are going wheel to wheel. Chris able to pull out there in front just at the end here. Another.
These guys going side by side wherever they can make it happen. It's good fun to watch the racing.
So we got a lot of pit strategies playing out here. This is Ray Bartnikowski right in front of Pete Mobron. Ray has not pit twice. Pete has.
So I would say that Pete has actually made this strategy work to perfection. He's now gotten quite a decent gap on Mr. Bowers, and I think Eric came out kind of with Edwin. So maybe Edwin and Eric can work together to catch back up to Mike, but I think Pete is looking in good shape here.
Tell you what, Gurkin Demir leading the race right now. Good on here, Gurkin. Man, go for it. Gonna lead a lap, maybe?
I know. I can't say for sure, but if he does lead this lap, this might be his first lap led in Sunday Night Skipping, which is a massive achievement. He's into the pits, though, so it's now... All
right, well, it was fun while it lasted. There's Paul Bachler. Lauren Avery going in. All right, so that's going to leave Paul Bachler out. He has not hit twice. He still needs to come in for his second. He will lead this lap with Jonathan Dockery in second place. A solid maybe 5.5 seconds behind him. And then Pete Moran there. Oh, look at that. The 913. Gurkin Demir just behind him. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Mike Bowers having pit twice. I think he is the next in line there. You can see he's got Pete in his sights, but good luck chasing him down.
Yeah, that gap, definitely hard to track down. That said, it is super easy to get a little bit loose here, even with the warm tires, especially at the bottom of the hill or through that turn 3 if you go off into the gravel. So there are a couple places where maybe if your foe wasn't Pete ahead, you'd expect that maybe they could have a bobble, but with it being Pete ahead, it's really hard to expect him to make a mistake. You really got to do it on pace alone, I think.
Looking back a little bit further here real quick. Great battle. Steve Dewar holding on to P19 there from Aaron Law, Spencer Clark. Man, these guys going wheel to wheel and holding on to it. Chris Stewart and Nick Tullo, or I'm sorry, Thor Tullo, is still having a great battle there for P30. We've got more cars into pit road, as you can see. Hugh Braun taking over the natural lead there, and he's got a 2 seconds. For Mike Powers.
Yeah,
Great.
2 seconds seems like it could be trivial, but when it's Pete ahead of you, it's anything but.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck. There is Mike Howanick, and he is a newcomer in the 187 machine. He's got Jonathan Dockery and Adam Wright just behind him, trying to catch up, make it past him. I mean, you just look at the intervals there. Holy cow, we've got some great racing throughout the field. We've got JR Hoops and Joshua Dancy with Carl Dronke. I mean, the fact... I'm sorry. JR Hoops, Joshua Dancy, Carl Dronke in a battle for a 13th position here. Holy cow.
Yeah, it just shows you the strength of the grid.
Wow.
And what I was going to point out is that Michael Howanick, who's a newcomer to Sunday Night Skippy, qualified P4. He's down in P11. It's a really, really good showing, but it shows just how hard getting the strategy right in this league, even if you have the raw pace, can be. So yeah, falling down those positions really comes down to how you handle the pit stops, and it's one of the hardest things to get a grapple on, I think, when you come into the league. But I'm really, really excited to see what he could do, because on a raw pace alone, he was up there, and it looked like even a top 10 finish for your first race in this league is a really, really nice feat. Yeah, coming in with about 5 minutes to go, it looks like I think the top two are probably sorted. But this battle for P3 is really exciting, especially because Gurkan Demir is in there. I'm not sure that he's had a podium yet, so he is in the fight potentially for his first podium, I believe.
That could absolutely be accurate. I think that, I mean, we've seen great pace out of Gurkan Demir in the past, but not 100% sure that we've seen him on the podium before. So great running from him with Eric Lamoureux just behind. So, yeah, so clearly, I mean, with 7 minutes left, 7.5 minutes left, nothing is for certain. You can't count your chickens before they hatch, but here we go. Edwin Virino, Gurkan Demir, Eric Lamoureux all in a battle. We've got a little further back Paul Bachler in a battle with Michael McLeod, and then Jonathan Dockery trying to hold off Michael Howanick, Adam Wright, Jack Moffitt.
Yeah, I gotta say this Dronky Dancy Hoops battle is very, very impressive. They're staying very close to each other. Oh, and we've had a little bit of an incident towards the front with someone off. It's kind of separated Gurkan from Edwin a little bit. So we'll see how this plays out now.
A little further back here, Chris Stewart still trying to make his move on Bortolo. Rafael Bofil and Rusty Pottenberg, some SF2 favorites, going to battle here for that 30th position. But I'll tell you what, one of these one of my favorite fights for the night right here is Jonathan Dockery holding off Michael Hownick for, well, maybe not even the moment. Adam Wright and Jack Moffitt behind them.
Yeah, it's a good group of 4 to keep an eye
Yeah.
on. Maybe
Yeah.
a couple shifting positions with, I guess, a little bit over 5 minutes to go. So I called 5 minutes a little bit too early. We have about 6 minutes to go at this point.
These guys are not giving up. I mean, at this point, with 5 minutes to go, you done both your pit stops. You're battling for position now. There's no more undercut, overcut. There's no more, you know, kind of like,
Yeah, the only concern you would have is with potentially allowing another car to join your group. So if you got a nice group of 2, 3, 4, battling too much might let someone else latch on, or if you think you have the possibility of catching up to someone. But I think this group of 4 seems fairly safe for them to battle the rest of the way, which is, yeah, good for us while we're watching. Stressful for them, for sure.
yeah, I think this is the battle for position for these folks. The lead car here being Michael Hownick in 10th position.
It also, looking at the time and tower, seems like Edwin has actually found Mike Bauer's draft, so he's play for P2. 6/10 now in it. That's a fight to the end for sure. The only question is, can they work together to try to close the gap to Pete? It might be a tall task with roughly 4 laps to go.
How is
those
Pete
guys are
that
super
far
capable.
out? I don't get it. He was out for a season.
Listen, he's magic.
I don't.
We need to give him like a poster curse. We need to get him on a poster ASAP. I'm not liking what I'm seeing for this season already.
Frustrated. Look at this. Here's Eric Lamoureux, Brooke and Demir, Pop Bachler, and Lauren Avery going to battle. That's a great race. We've got what we were talking about earlier, Jonathan Dockery in the Royal Purple Machine, leading Michael Hownick, Adam Wright, Jack Moffitt. There's some great racing going on. I mean, look at this. Thortolo and Chris Stewart still, like, these guys cannot get separated. They were right there on each other. Rusty Punberg and Dmitry Korblev also just kind of like right on top of each other throughout the field. We've got 48 skippies, and every single one of them locked in. Ooh.
I'll tell you something too. Dockery jokingly said, "Come drive for me," before the race started after he qualified. I don't think I needed to drive for him today. He's done an excellent job holding off that group.
Look at that, 10th position. He started 10th. He's holding 10th, and he's.
And I think, like coming out of last season, he had a lot of bad luck. I think he was a little maybe down on himself. I think this is a really great confidence-boosting race to see from him, and I'm expecting to see more of this. If he could, feel good about this race and keep that going throughout the season, I fully expect it from him.
It's crazy. Kirk and Demir are really just trying to hold on to. Before there, Eric Lamoureux, though. I mean, I would really hate to have to. Oh, yep, there you go.
Yeah, so Mr. Big Ideas Andy calling it out. Our own Fidge the Fridge Johnson. It is a great drive from Demir. He has pointed out, and it's absolutely true. First class, to be honestly top 5, top 10 in this league, very, very difficult. To see him holding on to that super fast pack is really, really great. You always want to see new blood introduced to that top pack. It just makes the league that much more exciting. And I fully expect, this whole top 10, top 15, honestly, it's really hard to cut it off because, like, you just keep going down, and the names you keep seeing, you're like, how are they that far down? And it just shows how competitive this race has been so far.
It's amazing how these guys just like chunk that car into the corners. I don't understand how y'all don't run into each other all the time. I want to understand, but I don't. So congratulations on that. Now that being said, like, check out Edwin Virino. Now he has cut the gap to 0.4 seconds. Now that being said, we've got the white flag out. You can see Barney there on the tower. We got one lap. Oh, we got one lap left, and Mike Bowers really trying to show his cards there.
Yeah, he's gonna go for it here. I think he might have another chance at the bottom of the hill. You can also go side by side into the final corner, but yeah, this is gonna be a scrap. Mike definitely wants that P2 back.
I mean, holy cow, he really stuck his nose in there, and I thought he had it for the moment at least, but definitely not, because oh, is he gonna stick his?
Nah, so Edwin did a good job of covering the middle there. So I think this is a last corner. If Mike can stay close to this tight S section and keep the momentum going, not scrub off too much speed, you can get side by side just enough in the final corner. Although with Edwin being probably the smoothest driver on the grid, it's very, very hard to get a jump on him here, I think.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, I can't imagine. Well, either one of these guys, Mike Bowers or Edwin Virino, I can't imagine like, oh man, I'm gonna take this finishing position from them. Yeah, okay. Yeah, good luck. Look at this. Here we go. It's got a.
Oh, and Gherkin having a similar look on Eric, but not quite getting there as well. Peter Nodwell at a very nice P6. Bachler at a nice P7. Michael McLeod, is that oh, P8. I don't know how he got the final position on that last lap, but very, very nice from him. He was racing in SF2 in last season, so having a consistent top 10 appearances is really, really nice to see from him.
Well, I think we missed the. That was my bad. We missed the finish there.
Oh, Chris Stewart and Thortall going side by side in the final corner. It looks like Chris Stewart has it done, but he's going to run him to the line. And another photo finish there.
All right. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to go rewind all of this. Holy cow.
Honestly, a very well-run race by everyone. This is a track where you could have so many incidents, and so to see to not have incidents be the highlight of this race, I think just shows the quality of racing that happens throughout the grid.
It's a fair point, but I I want to go check
Too much
it out.
quality to keep track of, though.
Oh my gosh. Well, at any rate, here we go. Why is this not showing up? I show the result. All right. Well, whenever the results are good, I don't know who that is smoking over there in the corner, but
I gotta say though, sitting here watching Pete win makes me very, very sad. I couldn't race today.
Pete O'Brien, he takes an entire season off to go chill in the interview booth and just, you know, like, whatever. We're just gonna have fun, and yeah, no, he just comes back in and wins. He said he was gonna take this pretty easy, and yet he starts out the season with a win. So
I think he just practiced all last season. He was just
I don't know what to tell you, but holy cow. Edwin Virino, Mike Bowers. So that's another guy to look out for, by the way, Mike Bowers. Holy cow, is he coming on? Edwin Virino, we know is fast. Like there's no secret to that. And I know we know Mike Bowers is fast, but man alive, that dude, he might be a championship competitor here this season. Eric Lamoureux, Gherkin Demir, will round out your top 5. We're gonna scroll through the rest, but let's bring in some interviews from some of the drivers who've survived that. Holy cow. we got 5 people, Jeffrey.
Everyone's eager to talk.
I don't know what we're gonna do.
It was an eventful race.
I just pulled up Discord. I didn't know what to do with it. Okay. All right. Okay, let's do this. Let's bring in we can bring in Chuck Rubber here. Oh boy. Okay, so great SF2 race.
Not so great SF1 race.
Not, I mean, not terrible. I'm not gonna say not bad or not great, but I'm not gonna say not bad either. So this course, talk to me about Summit Point for you.
Um, I've thought I've been decent. Um, SF1, I thought I had broke my front right wheel, so I went in the pits and completely missed my pit stall.
Oof.
So that was a big whiff, and came back around on fuel and just got lapped and was like, I'll just run my race and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you, based on your fastest lap from this race, you definitely had the pace today. So it just sounds like an unfortunate incident kind of put you out of it. But
I know what whoever spun on turn 1, I got collected in that and had to tow. That's what really messed me up. The turn 1 incident with, I want to say it was either Rafa or Pim, because it looked like a Team Jason car. Not not that I'm mad at him, but that's when I meatball flagged myself and had to tow.
yeah, maybe an unfortunate start there. But coming into the season, having the pace you did at least, even if you didn't get the result today, you have to feel good about that. So, kind of, what are your ambitions for this season in terms of where you want to end up in the standings, both in SF1 and SF2?
I just want to be able to compete, and you know, this will be my second. Well, this will be my full. For I'll be able to do a full season this season, and I just want to be able to race. And God, 40. How many cars do we have? 45.
Yeah, 48 gridded up today.
Yeah, that's a lot of cars. So just wherever I qualify, move up a couple positions, I'd be happy because we have such a wide spread of guys now that you know honestly in SF1 for me a win's out of the question. But just to be in the mix and battle, I think would really boost my confidence and make me a better racer.
I think that's a good way to go about it. Is set some realistic attainable goals, and then I think with enough practice and stuff, you'll be surprised how quickly you can move up. So even if this season isn't the season where you could be fighting for a win, you never know what's going to happen next season or the season after, and especially getting that experience from the SF2 races as well. It should go a long, long way.
Thank you.
Well, hey man, yeah, probably not the uh result you were looking for, but I think it's a, you know,
Good learning
momentum.
experience.
Exactly. And it's never going to be great or perfect, I guess I should say. Going into a field with that many skippies, it's just an entirely different experience from what the public races are. So, I I think the SF2 race is that's the takeaway for me for you.
Yeah,
And
that was the highlight of my night. I was super happy with that race, and
right.
I thought I don't know how you say his name.
Yep. Oh,
Al was gonna have some pace and catch back up. I was kind of watching my relative, and he was 2.5, 2.5, and then I don't know if he made a mistake and dropped back or what happened.
yeah. Well, either way, I mean, this course I think led itself to some good racing, and you can't control every single circumstance around you, but I'm glad that you got a good race out in the beginning, and hopefully you can carry some momentum from that into the next SF2 and SF1 race. This track was very difficult and uh, didn't suit everybody perfectly. I think that going forward, I have a lot of hope that you're gonna do well in SF2, and yeah, I, I don't know, man. Like I know it can be frustrating, but It was a lot of fun to watch you guys in this SF1 race, and I hope that you were able to take some from it and move forward.
Definitely. And I just want to send a shout out to all the SF2 guys. Great race. And practice, practice, practice.
There
Hard
you
work
go.
does pay off.
Perfect, man. Well, hey, appreciate you. Any other last shout outs you want to give?
Oh, just thanks to everyone for the great racing. Thanks to Sunday Night Skippy for having a great community.
Well, thank you very much. Congrats on the great results tonight, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
You
Take
too,
care.
buddy.
Chaz Weber there. See, yeah, man, down 17 spots. That,
Yeah, he had a rough, but his
you know,
overall pace was good. I'd say that's a positive sign. I'd say the
I
overall
was gonna
pace
say,
is a very positive sign.
it's so frustrating when your overall pace just does not reflect in the results. I get it. I've been there. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But yeah, we've all been there. I expect good things from Charles Weber moving forward here. Let's bring in Michael McLeod, who I need to unmute there. There we go. Mike McLeod, uh, how's it going?
Pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I mean,
finished up. You outperformed your grid position, which I always think is a fantastic finish for the night. But tell me about what Summit Point was like for you.
It was just like in some ways it's complex oval. There's not a lot of passing zones, and it's just everyone's so tight together that it's stressful. The entire race I was trembling and I'm sweating like crazy. So it was just sort of hopefully get lucky if I can save fuel and maybe try and pass in the pits is sort of what I was thinking.
I'd say, yeah, working up 4 spots, whatever you did today, very, very nice, ending in a solid P8. I'd say you gotta be pretty happy finishing in the top 10 here at all. But yeah, I guess from that perspective, with a really, really strong showing to start the season, kinda what are your ambitions moving forward?
I'm I I just wanted, I don't know, I just try and be in the top 10 in points. It was what it sort of started this season with, is my mindset. And so far it's looking not bad with
I
that.
mean I mean, right now you're P8, so I'd say
Yeah.
that's a pretty good start.
I'm just hoping I can keep with this consistency. I don't know if I can like stay with the top 3. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe if if they have a big wreck again, maybe I can get up there again in one race. But other than that, I don't know. My pace just isn't there to compete with them. But I feel I can be somewhere in the top 10, maybe top 15 every race, hopefully. And I guess just gonna keep trucking along and just trying to stay consistent.
Yeah, I think as Chris has said many times, sometimes the race is gonna fall your way, but you have to put yourself in the position to take advantage, and I think it looks like you've put yourself in a good spot to do that moving forward for the rest of the season.
I also got very lucky that Lauren Avery started sputtering right at the very end, and that gave me one extra position. Just before turn 10. So I got a little bit lucky there. Thank you, Lauren, if you're listening. And
Right. You know, you put yourself there, you added the right amount of fuel. So, I don't know, it's still a position gained on track one way or the other.
yeah, for sure. I was looking for your name in the race tonight, and I was like, where is he? Where is he? Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, I had a camping trip that, we got back very late for, so I told Chris instead of being a liability on track, I'd be a liability in the booth.
Carried the broadcast, and I appreciate it. I mean, and I'm sure this is a win-win. This is a win for the drivers on track because they didn't have to deal with you, and this is a win for us as the viewers because we got to get your perspective and your expertise there in the booth. So
Still demoralizing to see Pete so quick right out of the I
Right?
might just stay in the booth. It seemed to really do him well.
I was gonna say, Pete, he's probably excited to talk about his first win. Ask him about the towel that he has to throw out because he was sweating too much into it.
There you go.
And yeah, I guess I'll leave you guys and let you talk to the winner.
There you go,
Well,
man. Well,
you always
hey,
get to do your shout outs. So any shout outs you want to give?
yeah.
Shout outs to A and my friends who watched this race. And also I'm lucky that my wife lets me do this every single Sunday. And I guess I'm just very fortunate to have found you guys. And thank you for Peter Nodwell to inviting me into this league.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, we're happy to have you. Congratulations once again. Anytime that you can finish, this is me personally, but I like to finish above where I qualify. Like if I can do that, that to me is a win. And for you guys to be able to do that in Sunday Night Skippy, that's just like next level. So congratulations on that. I think it's a great start to the season for you, and hope good things for you for the rest of the way.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
You too.
All right, let's bring in Jonathan Dockery here. We've got Jonathan Dockery joining us. Had some great battles. I think we got some pretty good battles for you. You were ultimately down, I think, a spot maybe, but either way, fantastic finish. I mean, somewhere in the top 10, top 11, whatever it is, like anything top 15 in Sunday Night Skippy is a absolute win for you. So what did the race look like for you tonight?
Hang on. So
Oh.
can you hear me now?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
we
got
got
you, but I need to turn you up here.
But I didn't have talk permissions for a second. Compared to last season, tonight was awesome. Like, so I knew coming into this race because all week long, which I'm working with Carl Donkey now, and he's Ian's coach too. But coming into this race all week long, I had pretty decent speed. Last season I went from like 2 KI rating all the way down to 1237. It was, and now I'm back up to 1700. So I've had decent pace and decent speed. And Steve Durr and Carl Drunky have both been working with me really hard this week. And Steve's my teammate. And I told Steve coming in that my goal for tonight was just to qualify top 10 if I could and to finish top 10. I had a problem on the pit stop. My first pit stop, I stopped short in the box and I had to pull forward. And then I think on the lap before the second pit stop, I overdrove a corner and actually slid off track a little bit. But that was a lot of fun. Have to give a huge shout out to Adam Wright because I think the last lap, 2 laps, I think for almost the entire lap, me and him were side by side everywhere. Straightaways, turns, and we didn't hit each other. We didn't bounce off each other. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm insanely excited about the start to this season.
Yeah, I was
That's
saying during the broadcast that I felt like you were a little down on yourself at the end of last season, just from a string of what seemed to me like really, really bad luck. So it was really nice to see you pull out the top 10 and battle all race and really, really earn it. I'm hoping that this is a nice confidence booster for and really a sign of more things to come for you this season.
Well, I talked with you and Jason, different people throughout the last 2 seasons. It's like I don't know why I'm so far down in the field because I know that I can drive better. I just couldn't. Like I've taught a lot of people how to get faster in the Skippy, even in SNS. Like I worked with Ian one day, and one day he got faster at a track, and I've helped, coach several people even before the coaching program started. But I never could figure it out myself. And all I did is I took the off week off, and I thought, this season all I'm going to focus on is throttle management, hitting my marks, not overdriving the car, and not trying to force bad situations. And it's a world of difference, and I couldn't be happier. I mean, to me tonight, a 10th feels like a freaking win. So
You know, I think you said a lot of key things there. I think that sounds like the right approach. It's really what I like preach to my the people that I'm coaching is just the biggest thing I think is hitting your marks. If you can hit those marks consistently and not panic or try to force situations, I think that's a huge win. So I don't know.
basically,
The
I
the
qualified
approach seemed
really bad, So whenever I qualified 10th, I think I sent Jeffrey a message and I was like, "Hey Jeffrey, since you're not racing, come drive my car. I don't think I belong up here." So, but like at the end of last season, I messaged some of the admins and Jason, and I was like, "Look, I'm I'm way down in an IR. I'm not driving well. I don't know what the problem is. I don't think I need to be in SF1. Can we move me to SF2?" And everybody came back and they were like, "Nope, you're where you're at. So figure it out." I think I'm on the way to figuring it out. So
Yeah, well, it's a very nice sight to see because yeah, I know you've had tracks where you've just been super, super quick.
Watkins
And
Glen, Spa, and Imola. I threw
I
well,
also I feel
now
like
here.
Mount Panorama 2 is one for you as well. Like you have those tracks, and I think yeah, just seeing you put it together here today was really, really nice, and I hope it continues.
Me too. And thank you all for all you do with the broadcast. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to rewatching this one.
I'd say
Excellent,
you did a
man.
fantastic job today, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're really proud of you, and hope for continued success in the future. Great start to the season. I mean, I would love to be in your spot, being 11th overall in the standings there to start the season,
I think
and
I'm 10th, man.
looking forward to seeing what you got for us.
I think I'm 10th in the standings, right?
Yeah, you got
Qualified 10th
P10.
finish. Yeah.
Oh, P10. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't know why I said 11th. Yeah, P10.
Underselling the achievements.
Yeah, I know.
One of
Wow.
the coolest parts was as we cycled the first set of pit stops. I don't think I got credit for leading the lap, but I led most of that lap whenever we cycled the first set of pit stops. So that was pretty cool.
That's yeah, yeah.
So
I would
I'll
take
count
that
it. I'll count it.
any day, any day.
like I don't know if my pit stall was over the line or not, but it was like so as we're cycling pit stops, I ran behind Michael McLeod and it was like there for like 3 laps where he passes me, I pass him, and it's like we're not getting anywhere this way. So it's like, all right, well, let's just sit behind him and stay close and save some fuel. So everybody pits, and I'm hearing the spotter say, "Leader's pitting, leader's pitting." Then Michael pits, and I still got 2 laps in the tank. It's like, all right. So that was kind of cool. But hopefully I fixed the pit road mistake, and I don't know. My goal for the season is 2 top 10 SNSs and get back to 2K rating. So if I achieve both of those, it's a win for me.
There you
Oh,
go,
yeah.
man.
I mean,
You're
you're well on
part
the
of the
way
way
to it.
there already.
All right, y'all take care and thanks for all you do.
Have a good one.
Cheers, bud.
So Jeffrey and Chris, how was it from the God's eye view?
It was pure chaos and excitement.
What a lot of fun.
Well, we lost Mike Bauer. I was just about to bring Mike Bowers in, but he apparently peaced out. So we'll bring in our old acquaintance and
Yeah, I'm upset.
partner,
I don't even want to talk to him. Can we just can we
Team
end it?
O'Brien, who took a season off, by the way, said, you know what? I'm not even racing. I'm going to move. I'm going to find a better life for my family. We're going to get a new house with this amazing backyard. Nothing related to iRacing. Just all
the new
about
dog. There's a new
all
dog in
about
there.
Pete and his family. Had nothing to do with us. And on top of that, he's going to just rejoin the league and win. So
Yeah, he's just gonna make his family even more proud. This is upsetting.
right.
Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Happy Father's Day, Pete.
You know,
too,
it was a mood.
Listen, man, I heard you before the race. Someone asked you if you had everything set up and back to normal, and you were like, no, not the way I like, underselling your chances here. I'm trying to claim you were uncomfortable. I'd say you looked pretty comfortable.
Yeah, well, looks can be deceiving. I definitely wasn't being misleading there. I just got everything set back up with a new, bought a new chassis to put everything on. For anyone who's not familiar with, some of the equipment we use, where you've got the full setup, the wheel and the pedals and metal frames and that kind of thing. If the pedals are just a little bit off of what you're used to, or the wheels just a little bit off of what you're used to, it's like getting in a different car in real life. Right, all of your muscle memory is just a little bit different, and of course you can adjust, but it takes a minute. right? It's never quite right until you get it dialed in.
So is this setup that you used tonight apparently
Yeah, you might
pretty
just want
dang good? So are you just gonna keep that, or are you gonna strive for what you were used to using?
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be tweaking over the whole season, if I know me.
That's fair. That's fair. I, you know, I don't know. For what it's worth, I think what you got is pretty dang good. Winning in a ultra competitive field. Um, what do you think was your key to victory tonight?
Pure unadulterated luck. So no,
Okay.
it was a lot of just kind of watching what happened with the pack. You and I had talked a little bit earlier this week when we were talking about what's the plan for the season, broadcasting, racing, all that. And I wasn't kidding. Friday night was a little rough for me. I lost all my confidence. I wasn't feeling very good coming into the race. It's one thing to have the pace, but that race sense, that ability, that sixth sense of sort of anticipating what a car is going to do, what somebody's thinking before they do it, that is lost so fast. And I was so uncomfortable on Friday night and for the first portion of the race. So I went into this race with the mindset of just keep it clean, like anything top 10 in this field is good. Don't get too crazy because we're still trying to get that feel back. Right, make sure that we can be safe and close, and not be guessing wrong and ending people's races. Like that was my big fear tonight. So that I got kind of lucky that I went in with that really conservative mindset because that let me kind of sit back in that pack a little bit, that lead pack. I was intentionally not trying to be aggressive. Just go with the flow, take it easy, and I was able to save a fair bit of fuel. And unfortunately for Edwin, he kind of got hung out to dry. Right, so he had to take that really early, aggressive early pit stop. I know what that's all about. You get sick of letting people farm you for draft. You don't want to be giving people free fuel. So, you went in early and rolled the dice with the field. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then I basically ran my tank out until I could get clean air for that first pit into the pit entry because I felt pretty good about my pit entry approach. That ended up, I think, being the key to my victory. The fact that Edwin kind of got hung out to dry, so he had to take an early pit but didn't have a lot of space in his fuel tank, which means he got no choice on what lap to pit in or how much fuel to take on his second lap, right? He's going to barely make it if he ran it completely dry for the second pit. So when they started kind of hanging me out to dry just before the second pit, I'm like, I'm good with this. I'm like, I know that I can be able to get through with the second pit stop and get enough fuel to make it to the end. And sure enough, as soon as my fuel calculator said, "Yep, you're good. Let's come in," I came in immediately on that lap, and I came out just far enough ahead of Edwin and Mike Bowers, so they weren't able to get in draft. And then I just watched, looking behind. The fact that Mike ran exactly my pace very much did not go unnoticed. I was sweating bullets that whole time. I was watching Edwin behind him, right? And my whole strategy here was if Edwin passes him, if Edwin is able to trade draft with him, it's over. I'm done. They've got me. But Edwin had to stay behind because he had to take that really early first aggressive pit stop. So it worked out. And then, of course, I got very lucky with some back markers as well. Just catch them at exactly the right time.
I want to go back to qualifying a little bit because I watched Edwin's first lap and I saw the time that you put up, and you guys I think were 100th off of each other after the first laps, and then the next couple of laps kind of looked a little bit like you were still trying to figure out where the extra pace was. Um, yeah, just walk me through like the mentality of that, especially because it's the first like race back after a season. What were you kind of going through during qualifying? Because it seemed like you sorted it out on that final qualifying lap and were able to improve quite a bit.
Yeah, I was trying to hunt around. It was very much just being uncomfortable with it, right? To really be able to put in those solid qualifying laps, you have to have a lot of repetitions of a set of 5 or 6 laps and feeling exactly what you can do on lap 2 or lap 4, like how much can the tires take in every single corner. And the only way to do that is to explore it, right? And I definitely did not have that. So I had to be really conservative. When I came around for my second lap and I barely made any progress, I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're burning a couple laps just hunting around trying to see how we can move the car. Unlocked a couple of things in P1. I was able to go up a gear. That first, what is that, P4, the first left hairpin. I was able to stay in second for that last lap. And started being able to hang it in there, but it was very tentative up until that last lap. Just trying to see what the car was going to do. And that's very much just being out of practice. That just comes with the territory of putting in the seat time. And if you don't, it's going to be a bit of a mystery.
Well, I'll say it seemed like the race gave you enough time to figure it out. It was a little bit upsetting for me to watch. I felt a little bit sad and shaken by your fantastic performance, but I will say
I know that mood.
it was
I know
it
that
was a,
mood.
it was a very very good performance, and I gotta say, man, congrats, because yeah, I mean, once you found that out to Mike, I know you guys were trading lap times, but it looked. I know it's never comfortable leading by that margin, but in terms of pace, it looked like you weren't really going to be under threat. And that's a scary thing to see from a guy who's been out for an entire season.
I'll tell you what, though, looking back and seeing how many people are exactly dead on the pace, this is this is going to be a hell of a season. There's a lot of guys who are running exactly my pace or better. When I was looking back there, I think a lot of this is going to come with luck of the draw, managing traffic, who puts in a little bit more time on the cold tires to get the quality position. I'm thinking this whole top 10 probably is going to be really evenly matched. There is no running away.
Yeah, I will say I think the experience is going to come into play quite a bit. So especially guys like you and Edwin, I think we'll have an upper hand with all these people with a ton of extra pace this season. I think we kind of saw that play out tonight. Would you agree that I think your experience in running with the front pack and leading races and taking wins, do you think that really helps you tonight, even though you felt like you're still a little bit uncomfortable, still adjusting to the rig?
I mean, that experience is the only thing I had going for me, right? I'm just trying to remember what that pocket felt like and trying to find it. If I didn't have the experience trying to just click in, settle in, find the pace with the rest of the guys, and control my aggression, think through the field strategy while you're on track, all that stuff that you just get through doing repetitions, yeah, there's no way. I definitely would have broke focus. I would have made some sort of little mistake, absolutely.
Well, hey man, all I can say, I guess, from that point is congrats. It was a really exciting race to watch you guys, especially those first two stints. Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed. I think you did a fantastic job, a fantastic race. Honestly, congrats to pretty much the entire field. It was a
Yeah.
great race, but yeah, to come out with I think what ended up being like a 2.5 second victory. I mean, I think that's huge to start the season.
Yeah, it was a hell of a first race to come back after 3 months. That was, I say in the chat, I'm like, I think I'm gonna need to work on my cardio to be able to keep this up. So no, it was great. It was a fantastic experience back. I'm really excited for this.
Awesome, Pete. Well, hey, man, thanks for joining. Sorry, we tried to bring you in earlier, but I was having some technical difficulties. I apologize for that.
Yeah, we'll get that hammered out. I could hear you. We'll get it done.
We'll get it ironed out, but we appreciate you volunteering yourself for the in-race interview. At the time, though, it seemed not great, but we'll figure it out. So, at any rate, thank you. Congratulations on the win, and we look forward to a great season for you now and a championship, because anything else would be less than.
All right, awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good night and happy Father's Day.
Happy
Yeah, cheers,
Father's
man. You
Day.
too.
We'll see you.
Any shout outs?
I would like to give a shout out to Jeffrey Decker for motivating me to get back in this season.
Yes.
We just can't have that happen again like last season. That's that's not going to stand.
You've thrown it down. I'll be back next week. Let's do this thing.
Well, he's going back
thanks, guys.
it's Sonoma, right?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
so I will not be camping next weekend, so I'll be out there with you.
Of course.
Decker's home track. I expect big things.
I don't know, man. I'm scared now. Especially, I honestly like. I know you won it, but like Mike and Edwin look pretty scary out there too. There were a lot of guys. I'm a little shaken by. I'm a little shook.
Oh boy. All right, Pete. Well, hey man, take care. We'll see you around. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Later, buddy.
Take care.
Well, Chris,
There
before
goes-
we go, I just want to say thank you for allowing me in the booth tonight.
Thank you for
And
joining me.
Also, a big happy Father's Day to you, man. 'Cause I think you got 3 now. 3 now.
3 children. 3
That's a lot.
children.
You're completely mad, mate. You're completely mad. Three's too many.
How many do you have, Ian?
2.
I thought
I
you
just
had
have
3.
I just have a puppy, and that's too much.
Yeah, but I have twins.
Oh, that's right. Those twins. Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's
there
kind
you
of
go.
kind of cheating, right? You get it all out of the way. I
Yeah.
my kids.
No, it's cheating. I think you can consider it cheating once they're like at a certain age, but when they're newborns, I got to imagine that does not feel like cheating. That feels like certain death.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun bringing those 2 up. They're good lads most of the
Okay.
time.
All right. Fair enough.
But yeah, that was a great race, though. I mean, my God. You look at the quali times, and P1
It was toit.
P1 was 1.125,
Toy like a toiga.
and P35 was 121.9.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I kind of want to watch.
It
Hold
just
on.
like I think from what I've noticed, like when I joined the league, I think like last summer, it felt like there were groups within. There was like a top group, middle group, kind of like hanging out at the back group. It feels like those gaps have shrunken so dramatically that you just kind of expect week in week out that you get these qualifying times that are super super tight. And
Yeah.
for the first at least 5 laps, it seemed like no one really made a big enough mistake to create a gap. The whole timing tower was red because everywhere on the grid was a close battle, and so it's what makes this league, I think, super exciting. Regardless of where you're racing in the pack, you're having a good time and you're racing people cleanly. And I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. And just to say, 36 cars finished on the lead lap.
Which
Yeah.
is insane, especially because I only did pubs on Monday, but I could tell you, 48 cars gridding up feels like at least half of those cars should have some contact. So I think it just shows like everyone has the right priority out there that they want to finish ahead. They want to go fast. They want to have fun. They want to race hard, but they also want to keep everyone else safe and make sure everyone has a good time out there.
Yeah, yeah. So wine country.
Yeah, yeah. Back
next
to my
week.
home track, but not a
Yeah.
configuration I've ever run.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the Cup Historic. There's no carousel. You shoot straight down for like turn 3 at the top of the hill, all the way down to like a right hander, and then I think we have like the weird, what would normally be turn 7. You kind of just run straight over to that. So you cut out that back straight altogether in the carousel. It's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
interesting one.
It's going to be interesting because I mean, from turn 5 all the way down to turn 6 is all downhill, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think the thing you expect, Sonoma's pretty hard to pass at, and I think we've seen that the last 2 seasons. That run down from like turn 3 at the top of the hill to what passed with the old turn 4 to what now will be turn 4. I think that's actually going to be a pretty significant overtaking opportunity. So it should lead to some good battling.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's going to be getting used to it because, like you say, from turn 4 through turn 5 all the way down to turn 6, that's all downhill. And then you've got 7, 8, 8A, 9, which is more or less flat out, really, isn't it? I mean, there's a little bit of maybe a tiny lift or whatever to get some of those corners in, but most of that's just going to be flat out. And then T10 will be flat out. Your next breaking point's at corner 11, which is the hairpin.
Yep. Yeah, and you can get pretty dicey in turn 11 trying to go side by side. So I think it'll be a fun week. I think the pubs will be a little crazy, but I think as we always see with this group week in and week out that the racing is going to be super tight and close, and I think it's just going to be a great time.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Wow.
All right,
Wow.
gents. Well, it was an exciting weekend of racing. I think that this track, for whatever you think of it, produced some amazing results for both the SF2 and SF1 races. I had a great time watching both of those. The strategies that played out, the wheel to wheel racing that we saw. Um, eh, to me, this just put full display what we expect out of Sunday night Skippy racing. That's just a huge amount of respect and a skill and yeah, just uh, close battling throughout the field, whether it's for P1, P15, or P30. Um, it was just great to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah. Any final thoughts before we head on to Jeffrey Decker's? What's the word? Shoot, what's the phrase? Gosh darn
Are you
it.
going for like title defense? Is that what we're going for?
Yeah, yeah,
These lines?
maybe. I think.
I'm not
Boy.
going to be contesting the title this season. I'll tell you right now. I think it was very, very stressful to do last season. I can't put in the time this season to do that.
But you got it out of the way. So now,
Yeah.
like, it takes the pressure off a little bit, and you're like, okay, I can just go out and enjoy the competition now, right?
But
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I do need to beat Pete a couple of times this season.
Watching that, man.
That's
We
fair.
look
That's
forward to
fair.
watching that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Chris, we have to get another podcast up together.
Gosh darn it, man! I'll tell you what, we were slacking on that.
We've dropped the ball.
I'm
I
ready.
will talk to you. I'll talk to you during the week, and we'll try and figure out a time where we
A
can
good
pull it together.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Get
I like
Megan
it.
on board. Tell her we'll give her a guest slot if she lets you do it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, today would have been the day to do it because it was Father's Day, so I got to do whatever the heck I wanted. But we're about an hour and 20 minutes away from that not being the case anymore. So uh
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll figure something else out. But once again, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Whether it's kids or puppies or cats or whatever. But it was a fun day of racing all around. Thank you very much to Tim and Peter for broadcasting my cup race earlier this morning on Cavalcade. If you didn't see it, go check it out. We will see you on Thursday night. Well, actually, Tim and Peter will see you on Thursday night for the USF2K race. Ian is going to be potentially broadcasting the
I'll be broadcasting the Formula V on
Formula
Saturday morning.
V. So that's another SNS feature. If you guys aren't aware, we're doing the Formula V series on Saturday mornings. Well, mid mornings, I guess, depending on where you live. East Coast mid mornings. At any rate, great series following roughly the official series, but we're gonna replace the not so exciting tracks with better tracks, etc. So go if you're not on the Discord, go check that out. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
Alton Park Fosters this time.
what's that?
It's going to be at Alton Park, the Fosters layout.
There you go. So that's gonna be a great time. And we got Ian in on our little broadcasting channel now, so that'll be a lot of fun. And I think that's about it. If anybody's interested in some endurance racing, post it up in there. We've got some teams splitting out to try some of those fun endurance races. But other than that, man, Jeffrey, thank you for joining us. It was a lot of fun having you with us. Nobody wants to listen to Chris Morrill talk about Skippy racing at some point because
I disagree.
but I have not done a single lap. So it's exciting that we have you, the reigning champion, at least. And even if you didn't do a single lap, either you're a reigning champion of the league. So
there you go.
We appreciate your insight and input. And of course, Ian, I'm excited to see what you're gonna bring with the Formula V series as well. And we need the people have spoken. Like, let's not forget the people have spoken. They want your track tours.
Oh, good lord! Yeah, we have to try and fix.
Everybody to a
what we need to do-
person has said they want your track tours back. I don't know how we do that, but we need to
what we
figure
do
it
is
out because
we'll talk to Jason. We'll talk to Jason because we'll have to make a little bit of a change.
I'm
to some of the
pretty
stuff.
sure that people said don't even bother broadcasting if you don't bring that back. So we need to bring that back.
We'll figure that out. We'll talk to Jason
Okay.
about it, and we'll see what we can figure out. Also, big shout out to Joshua Dancy. It was his first night as the series director for
Joshua
SF.
Dancy, the series director. Yes.
Yeah. So big shout out to him. Congratulations. Well done. And I really hope he enjoyed his race as well.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody. We will see you next week. Well, on Cav OK, you can join us on Thursday. Pim and Peter will be bringing you USF2K series action from Charlotte. I think I will be joining you in the car from there. I hope. We'll see. But either way, we will bring you the broadcast from that. And then Saturday, we will see you for Formula V. And then next Sunday, coming to you live from Sonoma once again. So a lot of action coming to you on these YouTube and Twitch channels. Thank you guys for joining us. Just anytime come back. And if anybody's interested in joining in on the broadcast, please don't hesitate to reach out because we just love the perspective. Not everybody can be a reigning series champion like Jeffrey Decker, but we'll take you. It's fine.
If I could do it, anyone can. So,
but okay. So we'll leave it at that. Any last final thoughts before we peace out for the night?
I just thank you guys for having me. Cheers to you guys, and standing ovation for the drivers tonight.
Good night from me.
Good night from me. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Take care of each other. Stay safe. See you then.